Hello everybody, this is ZigZagZog coming to you from my new home, and we're back to continue our playthrough of Empire Total War featuring Darthmod Empire using the 40 unit save version. And while we haven't quite had the big old 40 unit land battles, we getting closer and closer last episode with a pretty hefty naval battle, so I hope you had fun with that. Boy, it's a lot to control, but I like the epicness of it. And speaking of being in my new home, I hope you all are enjoying not having the vroom vrooms of the cars driving by from my temporary location. Fortunately, the temporary is over, and we have a more normal situation for recording. But anyway, let's get back into the game. And we left off changing out the ministers. And before we move over to the Americas, where I know we have a minor little battle going, in New Granada, I think we shall check on trade real quick. I just started thinking with Württemberg or Württemberg. Boy, I get that wrong every time, don't I? There's some things that get stuck in your mind, and it's hard to change them. Let's get down there, and that was the one last possible trade option I had at the moment, and I just want to take a look. Their enemies are Prussia, so they're already at war with most of the largest factions around, and then they're allied with Austria. So I think because I don't think a straight up trade agreement will work, but I think it's safe in this particular instance to give a shot at requesting an alliance and see if that's enough to sway. There's also technology possibilities. Ooh, they have social contract ahead of me. What the heck? But they don't have the other two, that's why. Yeah, I think we're going to try a trade agreement. And we're going to try spicing it up and requesting an alliance. And see if that works. If not, maybe we will try a technology. We'll see. No, they do not like that. They just want to give me the old horse whipping. So let's try trading one bit of technology for the trade. It's a minor country, so I'm not too worried about it passing me up in technology. And try one more time. We'll give them empiricism. We'll try that one first. And see if that's enough, see if they'll go for it. And we got it. There we go. We are working very hard to increase our income. The best way we're going to increase our income is investing in some of our plantations and whatnot. But for now, I wanted to get all the trade we possibly could. Before we depart to the Americas, I do want to remember to get over here on recruitment and just buff up some infantry. We still can't recruit what I want in Flanders or in Alsace-Lorraine, and so I think that's where we'll leave this theater for the moment. Actually, the one other thing I wanted to do is get my rake over here to get a peek, see if there's any kind of builds going on over here. And there does not appear to be. So maybe for the moment, maybe for the time being. Let's see what this army entails. Ooh, a lot of Lancer cavalry. And this is the leftovers that made the incursion into Flanders. So let's see if we can just embed over here for the moment. Don't really have anything else much better to do with my rake, and I really do want to keep an eye on them. There we go. And that's where we'll leave it here for the brief moment, other than I keep thinking oh yeah, one more thing. Oh yeah, one more thing. I wanted to get at least some dirt roads going in Flanders to maybe help my movements, especially if I need to get around and reinforce a little somewhere. A little extra movement abilities might come in handy. So let's get over now to the Americas, and let's just, before we do any building up of forces, let's just get this land battle out of the way. He decided, it looks like, not to move, so this is just going to be a lopsided. I would expect him to just retreat, so let's find out. Oh, he's got scattered forces all over, so he gets a little bit of reinforcements, but we definitely have the advantage. He just has a lot of forces that can hide. He does not have so much. He has musketmen, so he doesn't have as much, although even the archers can enclose and do better skirmishing than us, or hand-to-hand combat than us, but I think we got what it takes to beat them. Let's just get in there and make it happen. We got a little bit of the hillside thing going, overlooking their deployment area wonderfully, so I think that's just what we're going to do. We are going to deploy the cannon right at the crest, and I think, yeah, we're slightly down the slope, so we don't have to worry about any weird crest blocking our view. Get the cannon set up here, and just because they do have the ability to enclose, we will play it safe. And they don't have artillery of their own. We'll keep them right behind. We'll put a couple units of infantry or line infantry on either side. Right, let's spread you out. Out of the way, cavalry. Let's spread you out. Well, that's 3 units. I just want 2. Two there. 2 on the other side. Well, let's get these guys out of the way. What do we have left? So we have 1 for in reserve, so we'll just park you over here. And cavalry, we have 1 saber cavalry. We'll hide you in the trees here. If it allows you to be hidden, yes. And we'll hide the native tribal cavalry off in these trees. And we'll call it ready to go. Except, oh, I do have a commander. There we go. We'll just keep you kind of in the back on this side to react. And we are ready to go. We have sight of their militia. We have sight of their militia. So it's militia, 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 which we should be able to handle well. The only thing that ever worries me just a tad is the hidden native troops. So we're going to take a couple minutes just to pound the militia. Nah, I take that back. We have the advantage. Let's take the offensive a little bit. We're going to kind of bring these troops over here. We'll bring these troops over to kind of this crest point here. We'll support them. We'll bring our reserves right here. And we'll bring our general over here. Moment the cavalry is staying hidden, and they seem to be moving to the trees, or attempting to, for some cover maybe, or maybe that's where they have some help hidden away, who knows. Let's try. We'll let them see the cavalry now, and we try to scout out their hidden units. We saw a hidden unit popped out here briefly. Okay, they are moving forward with the militia here. Maybe my line needs to hustle just a little bit. Found a hidden unit there, the musketmen auxiliary. This unit should, once it forms up, my cavalry should have them in range. There's the bowman auxiliary. We're good on this side. In fact, if he didn't have the militia right behind, I'd charge into the bowman. And we do have range here, so my cavalry should be able to take shots on their flank. I think we will change the focus. Oh, the bowmen are already wavering, coming under crossfire. There we go. Oh, they're considered hidden, so maybe we need to do some charging. Let's not charge with guns. Let's get down there. Ooh, his militia's gonna form though. Oh, but they're gonna run in the face of the cavalry. We're gonna charge right into their musketmen. Since they're shooting at us and we don't have the ability to shoot them back when they stay hidden. Have them wavering. His other regiment of militia is moving up. Let's make sure they don't face us for a round of fire. In fact, we'll withdraw the cavalry at this point because of that threat. We have them shattered. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one of my units over to try and take care of that native unit, so we don't have to face them again. And here they're about moving into range, and once they get into range, let's bring our cavalry back to run them down a little more. I think they're clear of being in any line of fire. Let's run them down to make sure we don't have to face them again should they retreat. Oh, native bowmen will be very susceptible. Nice charge for my cavalry. Ooh, and they go hidden, but they'll come. They'll be found shortly. Ooh, not on mine. Hold your fire. Hold your fire. What are we looking at? Militia. Militia. I think it's time before that militia reforms. Pull back our cavalry. See if you can't take care of the bowman. And let's change your focus over here. Colonial militia seems interested in the cavalry, so let's just move you up the hill behind some protection. And what have we got here? Musketmen have regrouped. Are they not in range? So maybe it is our best interest to support. They seem to have a little better range than us, so it's time to advance a little to get back in range. And at this point, we're going to bring the reserves up because it doesn't look like that's going to be a big concern for us. Bring this unit over here, and we should be set. Let's outrun you the rest of the way. We're getting hit too much. And we're still chasing down the units we need to. And let's make sure our artillery is focused on where we want it. Yeah, that's fine right there. And we broke the native musketmen. In fact, because of that, let's see if we can't get our general into the fun, into the flow. And in an instant that should be safe. Let's go, guys. Start firing. I know I held your fire because of my cavalry. And we forgot to give you orders to refire. There we go. Much better. Bring the cavalry around, getting ready to charge with them. And I think it is now time to halt our fire here as the general approaches. And I'm more concerned about the native auxiliary than I am militia. This unit is free, but now that they're free, we can take care of the militia. And we should have one more free unit back here now. And they are going to come up to support over here. So when this one breaks, we can run them down. And we have just controlled the battlefield. We will silence the cannon as my own troops start moving in. We don't need to bombard our own cavalry. Cavalry, it's time for you to charge in. And as soon as you get close, we will silence the muskets. Try to minimize friendly fire and end this battle. Alright, so I'm just going to run down a lot of the enemies so we don't have to face them again, because otherwise they do have the space in the room to retreat. So I'll see you at the other end once we've run down these rascals. Alright, and we got that decisive victory. I don't know, it was decisive because we had a slightly superior force, and we definitely had the superior position coming down from the hillside. So didn't think that would be difficult, and it wasn't. Let's move on and see who else we might be facing down there in New Granada. Alright, so we only lost 235 soldiers on that one compared to their 1,500. There was a unit of militia that escaped with at least 100, so there could have been a few other escapees. Let's see, well, let's find out if they're standing army and they're able to retreat or not. One down, yeah, there is a small force, and I think it was just that one militia unit that was able to escape and get away. Over here we just have some native musketmen, and I do not believe after that battle we're going to have any kind of range to pick him up. Now, he's in the thick of the forest, so I don't think we're going to be able to get over there. Although just because of that, I'm thinking just to prevent him from taking over the port or retaking the port, I may just leave a unit of cavalry and one of my least promoted, there we go, infantry soldiers, and we'll just kind of park them back here, kind of protect that area, and then move the rest of the units as far as they can down towards the capital. And hopefully they don't have too much garrison down there. Oh, I see where they retreated now. Off to the gold mine. Well, I don't know if we can reach them to just take care of them. Let's find out. Not quite. But next turn we'll be able to move on the capital without a problem. It's just a matter of how strongly is it held, and I'm not expecting a lot of resistance down there. What we're going to try and do with the other force is see if we can't combine the units on Cuba along with the few that we recruited, because I think I have a brief window before more troops are sent down my way. I've just started thinking between episodes that maybe the French sent that fleet over here. It's too late to help the original fleet with the army on it, but this was a fleet with no soldiers. They could be heading up, I'm thinking, to the holdings up north that they have to pick up units up there. So we could potentially, I'm thinking, see some activity from the French here, not in the not too far distant future, but I think we have a few turns to play with, and we're going to try and take advantage of that. So we're going to take, I guess, all of our, well, just about all of our navy. This is what we'll do. We'll keep our own navy up here, I think, in the lead, because it's kind of central in the Leeward Islands, and we're just going to break off one of the smaller ships, perhaps before we... Yeah, we'll just first of all, we're going to break off the sloop and the brig. We're going to send them over to the trade nodes. That'll be the first thing we'll do. We'll go towards the Ivory again. And there's a ship. See, last episode, and this is something I probably won't do in the future, because when I reload a save, you know, the little icons on the bottom that I like to use as reminders to check things, they don't stick around when you come back from a save, and I know that. But I ended the other episode with some icons over here, and a couple of them, or at least one of them, was ships. So before I end this turn, I'm going to be checking all theaters for any remaining ships. But these are the flutes that we brought over to get repaired. So we're going to do that right down here in French Guiana, which technically is now Dutch Guiana also. We're going to do the repair. It's nothing too expensive, 371, and they are under repair. Then we're going to take a measly old little 6th rate to do a lot of running around for us. And pick up some troops. We're going to take the army right here that we had built. And they should be on the vessel now. Yes, they are. We're going to then go up Curacao, pick up some more troops. I think we had a couple more right here. There they are. We will leave the militia. And the next question, can we make it to Cuba? Yes, apparently we can, which is good. So we'll wait in the port there. And we're going to start moving these soldiers that are up here, this army, the remaining one that took La Habana. La Habana? La Habana? Who knows? I don't know the let's get these guys marching. Let's forget about pronunciation. All right, and then what we're going to do while we're waiting is I do want to get a militia built, or recruited, I should say, to cover the port once we depart, once we leave. So next turn, once we get the armies all grouped up, we'll be able to send them, thinking of sending this particular group over to New Mexico, where we have some enticing little mines over there too, and we'll see if we can't take this with the other force. Hopefully by then New Granada is done, so if we start getting activity, we'll still have something of a force to bring back for defense. I'm still going to go ahead and build a couple more land units down here, just in case a force brought down is a little stronger. And we'll just start with 2 because I want to save something to increase some of our plantations down here. As a matter of fact, we got a little sugar, and that may be just where we start. Is our most abundant province, 2,500. We can afford it. And 854 doesn't leave us a lot of room for anything else. We can't improve the Capitol building, so we'll leave it at that. What I may be able to do is we'll take a look at India if I need to, or feel the need to buff up that force there. We'll see if we're strong enough to move against the French over there. So let's go over to India. Indian theater, let's see the army here now is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I don't think that's enough based on the army that we have up above here. Yeah, he's got a base of 5, and it looks like a garrison of maybe 4 more. So just to be kind of evenish, I want to have at least 9 regiments of various kinds moving up there. I do have the artillery advantage, no fort, so I feel like if I just recruit 1 or 2 more, and I might even be able to make it happen with what we have here. Just because other than the sepoys, which match their units, I have superior infantry and I have artillery. The only thing they may have in their defense, in their garrison, is mortars. Boy, that my CPU was a little slow there in my head. You know, one thing that would be handy though, if they do have mortars, that's probably the one thing I'd like maybe see if we can recruit a cavalry unit. Is there one available? There is, but it's not affordable at the moment. And geez, I gotta keep upgrading the infrastructure while we're at it, or my income's gonna start plummeting to low levels. We'll send you over to your least favorite mine where you always seem to lose zeal in recruiting these miners. But let's make it happen. If you don't mind, then I'm going to take a quick moment to peek around my list, make sure I haven't missed anything, and we'll be right back. Okay, I haven't really noticed anything else that we need to accomplish at the moment. Just taking a look at our list, though, we should get the order. Everybody is increasing as far as population and income. However, our public order is a little wishy-washy in Flanders, Cuba, and Windward Islands. The Windward Islands, I'm not sure if we're upgrading the capital there yet or not, but in Cuba I know we are, Flanders I know we are. That alone should help take care of the public order short term. So I don't think we have anything else to worry about at the moment. Let's get in there and head out on the next turn. All right, we got a little interruption here, and I think I'm going to take advantage of it on the turn. His unit that was down here in the jungle has closed up with his defeated unit in the mine. I think I'm just going to intercept and take care of this little battle. In fact, I know I don't always auto-resolve a lot, but this one is so minor. We're just going to go ahead and auto-resolve on this particular one.
Niemand kan ons verslaan.
And we lost 66 to their total force, 256. So mission accomplished. They are out of the way for our next turn to move on to capital without too excessive of losses. So I'm happy with that result. And Friedrich, poor Friedrich, wants to trade regions, which I'm not interested in, especially for Silesia. And of course, I don't want an alliance, any further alliances on the continent, so we will refuse. All right, following a buildup of suspicion, France and Poland-Lithuania have broken their alliance. Anything to weaken France is good with me, and my agent has successfully stayed embedded in the French army, and during that turn he was reinforced from off in this direction with a single unit, so who knows where he happened to be coming from, but he got reinforced. It's still not a threatening force at the moment, but they are doing a slow build. The good news is I can do a faster build out of, if he's just going to slow build that way, I can outpace him where I am. Flanders, no, we're still building there. Same within Strasbourg. And so while we're here, why don't we look at increasing our income's not bad though, over 10,000. So that's good news. did the army look like again? I think I have at least my 2 cavalry. I want to bolster it a little bit. One thing I want to do is, do I have the ability? Yes, I want to hire a general now. I need one on the continent. And then we will go ahead and recruit just a little bit more. There's some hefty stacks floating around over on our minor nations here. France, I know, isn't a big threat, but I've seen minor nations turn on us, and I just don't want to be caught off guard, which is why I'm doing the slow build up here. We haven't quite upgraded our school yet, and so I think that's going to probably be it for the moment up here. Let's just take a look at what has happened while we've been away. We did a lot of recruitment up in the Netherlands. And yeah, we're doing all right. We're doing what we need. Cuba, we got to remember to move the militia over to the port. War has been declared, the Mughal on the French. Ooh, I'll tell you what that means. That means we got to move fast, or France is going to lose that province that I was hoping to gain a foothold on the continent down there in India. So let's head over there right away, first of all, and see what we're dealing with. Is there any move on the French yet? No. So I have the repaired 6th rate down here. We're going to take the forces that we have. Less than ideal because I was not able yet to build the cavalry, which I'm going to do now as an afterthought. But I'm going to go up there anyway with the force I have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 regiments is what we are dealing with, and unfortunately my only cavalry, if they do have mortars, is right here. So let's cross our fingers that we got what it takes. I'm going to take this chance right now. And we'll leave the militia. Oops, let's do this first. I do that half the time. I start selecting out who I want to send over, and then you got to go to this next screen. All right, there's the army I want to take up. 6th rate, you're going to do the shuttle job. There's no port to land in, so we are going to be landing on the coast. And then I think we can take our 5th rate at this point then, because we'll have our eyes over here. And we can take the 5th rate, which has some minor. I don't think it's made. Well, 47 guns down to 33, so yeah, he may have some major damage. Let's get it repaired. Because at some point, the Mughal will declare war on us, probably before we are ready to declare war on it. Only 124, so not too bad. We're not going to hire an admiral at this point. Our fleet, where did we have a fleet arrive? Probably the Ivory Coast? Yes. So I think all we're going to do is see if we need to bolster with a sloop on any of these trade nodes. 2 flutes. Flute 6th rate. Flute brig. And a sloop. So we'll move one of our 6th rates over here to join up there. And then we will take our new addition to the theater right here and bring it to that trade node. And these trade nodes have the minimum garrisons I look for. And we can look at them later once we get our economy taking off. Oh, we got a little history story. Let's take a look. Following an altercation with his ship's captain, Scotsman Alexander Selkirk found himself marooned on the island of Juan Fernando. Originally part of a Caribbean buccaneering expedition, Selkirk's complaints about conditions and the seaworthiness of their vessel culminated in an attempt to organize a mutiny, for which the captain unceremoniously dumped him on the archipelago to fend for himself. With only a musket, a knife, a Bible, some tools for building shelter, and the clothes he stood up in, Selkirk soon regretted his actions. But by that time, his ship had sailed away. Initially staying on the beach for fear of attack by animals, Selkirk began by living in a cave and eating shellfish to survive. Each day he watched for ships that might rescue him and gradually sank into a paranoid depression as none appeared. He eventually abandoned his cave when mating scallions took over the beach, moving inland. Almost straight away, things improved for him. His food supply became more varied as wild goats roamed the countryside. Edible roots were abundant in the soil, and there were berries from bushes also. Selkirk soon found that his natural cunning and resourcefulness served him well in his island home. Rats that gnawed at him were a genuine problem until he made friends and camped with feral cats. Using his tools to build wooden huts, Selkirk hunted goats with his musket until his gunpowder ran out, then had to learn to chase his prey and kill them with his knife alone. At one point he fell off a cliff whilst hunting, knocked himself out for a while, and woke to find, instead of a broken back, that his fall had been broken by the carcass of the goat he was chasing. In order to keep a grasp on the language he had no cause to use, Selkirk read the Bible aloud. He also found it calmed him at his at times frantic emotional state. Over the course of 4 years, only 2 ships sailed within rescue distance, but he hid, as they were Spanish vessels, and he feared torture and death at their hands. Finally, in early February 1709, British privateers commanded by Woodes Rogers sailed into the harbor. Selkirk was overcome with joy at having made contact, set about catching goats to share with his rescuers. Rogers happily made Selkirk his mate and took him off the island. Such a story I'm glad I did not have to experience firsthand. Okay, now I got to think, where were we? We're going to have, okay, we got a battle primed and ready here. I think what I got to look at doing is perhaps some upgrading of some of our infrastructure, perhaps in the Americas even, as we were wont to do before. We can upgrade here to a state house, and we still have some room for more upgrades. Oh, we got our roads being built there. Didn't even remember doing that at some point. So let's upgrade our spices here at the moment. And that pretty much finishes our ability to upgrade. Let's take a look at the island of Cuba, see if we can advance to our ships and make some movements there. We still don't see any Spanish or French vessels moving into this Caribbean area. Marcheren! And let's get them on board, everybody. So we got the 4 units there, and we're just going to take everybody else because I'm going to have militia that'll be here in another turn. So let's get them all grouped up, and we got ourselves a nice little force to head over to New Mexico. Question is, I don't know, can our Navy make it that far in one turn? Because I kind of don't want them floated, but if they're having problems making it that far, any Spanish or French fleet out there is going to have problems making this distance. But look, we can make it. We'll land in the port and start heading inland toward the capital. Find out what kind of resistance we might have. I see something nearby, and it's very minor. Kind of don't want to attack you without knowing. You know, it's just militia, no, colonial line infantry. So the troops here will be probably, they have the ability to build some better troops here in New Spain, in Mexico. So we'll offload here first. And I don't know if we'll quite be able to move far enough, but I think we're going to move away from the port in this instance. Is this in his zone of control? Is that why it's telling me I can't move that far? We're going to move toward the city. I don't care about a single unit over here, and we're going to play it that way. The worst he can do is move back into port and force my ship out of port. I'm not too worried about another fleet at this moment. Let's take a look down in New Granada and see what we can find. See if we can reach Bogota and see what our resistance is going to be. Let's cross the bridge and take a peek. And it looks like we may just get a little surrender and a new territory. Yes. Okay. New territory under control. We'll be able to spend money once we get it to actually... oh, he may have the basics of the mines going now, whereas before I don't think they were there. So thank you, New Spain, for building up the mines at least to their basic level for us. Let's repair here. Hopefully we have enough. Yes, we do, barely. And I don't think we'll have quite enough to repair the port. Not yet. So let's just move our forces into the port to secure it. In fact, we'll move into the fort next to the fort. And we'll see if we can do a little healing ourselves for those units, and then a little later we'll see if we can't heal the rest of the army. We only got 50 left. That's not going to get us healed very much, so we'll have to remember to do that next turn. Good news is let's see if our income hopefully will be a little better. Our trade is still strong, nobody being blockaded. Not a lot of pirating activity going on. Oh, it looks like in America we have a slight problem with coffee. We'll take a look at that. Maybe a plantation hasn't finished building yet. That could be part of it. We want to see, before we forget, about upgrading our ministers. We'll take a look at our head minister for starters. Let's replace him. And we get an improvement right off the bat. He's a patron, naval patron. And so he'd be able to add 2. What does our Navy guy look like? He's pretty much the same thing. So no improvement to the Navy there. We'll just keep him where he is. And next time we'll see if we can't boost up the minister for India. Alright, well, I'm going to do my normal. I'm going to take a look around the map. I'm not going to make you follow me as I kind of sort out and see if there's anything I've missed, and we'll be right back. Alright, I really didn't find anything I wanted to attend to other than I moved my missionary over to the tea plantation. And just as a note, we are 68% converted now down here on our island. So next turn we'll have some fun with our battles around. We hopefully can reach the capital of Mexico. We hopefully can beat the Mughals to the capital, Cuttack. And let's get back to the main home country, and we're going to hit the next turn. We'll see you on the other side unless something interesting pops up. Alright, our agent has successfully completed his mission, so he is still embedded in the army, and it still slowly grows. So that could become well, fortunately we're able to keep pace with it, so I'm not concerned about it yet. We gained some traits of mistresses, and let's see, Albert Beckart, he gained some skills for treasury and justice, so we'll take a look at that real quick and see if he's a better fit somewhere else. This guy right here might be better. Treasury, he may work out better in the treasury now. Who's in the treasury? He's just one. Oh, that yeah, I think this may. Let's try this swap. Well, it does work out better for our treasury, but then it leaves him woefully because his only skill was the treasury. It's just that this guy's that much better. So we're going to try switching him out again, the head of state, see if we can come up with something better. And we do not. Unless he can be used somewhere else. Treasury. Everybody wants to be in the treasury. Did our guy in India have any skills? No, he was the skillless one. He was the bland, boring guy. So let's do this. Well, I'm gonna take a quick look at what we've got here. We got our recruitment report that we built up. There's our cavalry. I wish I had. I'd feel a lot more comfortable in India with that cavalry unit. We got some building going on. That's always good. Our college has finished in Utrecht, and we'll see if we can afford to build another one. Our income's a little bit down. And we have a fleet that arrived. I believe this is down in the Ivory Coast also. And since we just set that up, I'm going to send over to the Straits of Madagascar in case and double check and see if I need any bolstering there to get our minimum requirements set. And then let's head over to the Americas. The long way. There we go. And let's see if we can find some action. We were looking at potential action in Mexico, I believe, and I want to see if we can make it happen and maybe end. We kind of had a battle early on, and now let's see if we can stack up to these guys and have a battle to finish it off. Ooh, let's take a look at these guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's an open field battle. They've got 7. I've got 11. So yeah, we're actually looking good compared to them. Do we have cavalry? We do have cavalry in case they have a mortar unit in there. I'm thinking, shall we? Why not? The mission may end up being, or the episode could run a little long because of this extra battle. But we're going to go in there and do it pretty even on the meter. I think, however, they're looking at line infantry, colonial line infantry. No, only 1 militia, and so there is no mortar we have to worry about. So right there alone, we have an advantage with our artillery. So let's see if they want to surrender. Nope. And actually, I think we might be pushing it. I'm sorry to tease you like that. We're going to hold off, and this is how we're going to start the next time. How about that? This is how we shall start the next mission. I appreciate you all for watching. This is ZigZagZog coming to you from my new home where I'm loving it. No cars rushing by, no truck noises, no motorcycle, loud motorcycle noises. Just peace and quiet. And a smiling zigzag. So thank you all for watching. I sure do appreciate it. And hopefully we'll see you next time, next episode. Thanks.